JBN, we keep you informed. Alleged G-City gangster charged with extortion. A man said to be a top-tier member of the Montego Bay-based G-City gang is now behind bars, facing extortion charges for allegedly using a death threat to get a woman to give him more than $100,000. The accused, 26-year-old O'Dane Tomlinson, unemployed of Harmites in St. James, allegedly had the 28-year-old woman who he met in July paying him the money in increments of $20,000 for what he told her was protection. She was allegedly told that failure to pay would result in her death at the hands of the gang. On August 23, Tomlinson reportedly went to the woman's home, saying that members of the gang needed money to leave town in a hurry as they were coming under pressure from the police. The victim reportedly told him she had no money, but he allegedly told her that if she did not come up with the cash, she would be killed. The woman reportedly went into her house and began pretending she was searching for money. With Tomlinson distracted, she quietly called the police and outlined her ordeal. A quickly dispatched police team found Tomlinson outside of the home. He was promptly taken into custody and subsequently charged with extortion. Detective Sergeant Hewlett Lewis Green, the media liaison officer for the St. James Police, said that the police want persons who are being extorted to immediately report the matter and not allow themselves to become pawns for criminals. Extortion is illegal, and the persons are not obligated to pay any money to anyone, whether under threat or for protection, Lewis Green said. Persons who find themselves in these situations, such as this female, are being asked to immediately report such matters to the police and let the law take care of it. Security guard in custody after beating death of mentally ill man. A security guard is now in police custody following the beating death of a man said to be of unsound mind at a premises on Waterloo Road in St. Andrew on Thursday evening. The deceased has not yet been identified. Police report that a mentally challenged man trespassed on private properties along Waterloo Road and was challenged by the security guard. An altercation developed and the man was clouted by the security guard. He died from his injuries. The security guard has been taken into custody for questioning. Bloody night leaves 5 shot dead in separate incidents. 5 men were shot dead in separate incidents Tuesday evening in the parishes of St. Catherine, Kingston, Clarendon, and Trelawney. The first murder was recorded in the district of Portland Cottage in Clarendon at 5 p.m. Police report that a resident of the community, known as Clifton Daly, otherwise called Greg, was shot multiple times and died on the spot. 2 hours later, gunshots rang at Whitehall Avenue, Kingston 8, when the smoke cleared. 22-year-old Kevon Campbell, a decorative designer, lay dead. Then at 7:45 p.m., gunmen struck again. This time the victim was 71-year-old Lawrence Kelly, a painter of Bounty Hall in Trelawney. Police reported that he was found lying on his back with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. 2 men were also killed at Windsor Heights in Central Village, St. Catherine. The victims were identified as 31-year-old Rowan Taylor, otherwise called Parry, of a 100 Lane address in Kingston, and 41-year-old Samuel Lawrence, a construction worker of Portmore, St. Catherine, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Residents heard a volley of explosions about 9:45 p.m. and summoned the police. When the lawmen arrived, Parry was found lying on a bed in an unfinished structure, and Lawrence was found lying on his back. Chain thief accused in stabbing incident nabbed in Kingston. 2 men have been charged in relation to separate offences, which occurred in the vicinity of Parade in downtown Kingston. One of the men is accused of stabbing another man, resulting in him being hospitalized for 5 days, while the other is facing charges in relation to a chain-grabbing incident. Charged with wounding with intent is 61-year-old Clive Sherrod, a salesman of Chantilly Infant Kingston. Meanwhile, the police have identified the accused chain thief as 28-year-old Shane Price of Pink Lane, Kingston. He was charged with robbery with aggravation after he allegedly robbed a man of his gold necklace. The police said Price was chased and held by a plainclothes officer after committing the act. 5 Manchester men charged as cops probe larceny and firearm cases. Investigators in Manchester are reporting success in their probe of larceny and illegal firearm cases during the month of August, with the arrest of 5 men in the parish. Among those being prosecuted are 32-year-old murderer accused Sean Robinson, who was reportedly found with a loaded 9mm semi-automatic pistol in his possession when he was accosted for breaching his curfew order. He was yesterday charged with illegal possession of firearm. Another Manchester resident, Tyrone Grant, was charged with illegal possession of firearm and assault at common law, arising from an alleged long-standing dispute, which culminated with the accused reportedly pointing an illegal firearm at a man during a conflict. The police also arrested and charged security guards Stefano Buren, 24, and the 30-year-old Anthony Discon with shopbreaking and larceny. Both men resided in Mandeville and were accused of unlawfully gaining access to a business place on Ward Avenue where they reportedly stole goods and cash. And the 39-year-old Oren Richards, carpenter of Comfort District in the parish, one of two men reportedly held up and robbed a motorist of his vehicle and cash, was arrested and charged with robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of firearm. Sheryl Lee Ralph fulfills pledge to mother. Legendary Jamaican actress, singer, producer, and activist Sheryl Lee Ralph will assist 40 students from the Chantilly Infant School to go back to school as a commitment to her late mother. Ralph's mother, Miss Ivy Ralph O.D., had one dying wish that she expressed to her daughter before her passing in October 2018. Her wish was for her daughter to never forget Jamaica, especially Chantilly, Manchester, the district where she, Miss Ivy, was born and raised. Education and caring for people changed her life and her family, Ralph said. Her mother's passion for education, along with her father, Dr. Stanley Ralph's experience as a lifelong educator, inspired the Miss Ivy's Backpacks for Back to School initiative, which seeks to ensure that every child has the basics for going back to school. The initiative also aims to encourage parents to prepare their children for an educated future. On Sunday, the Diva Foundation, headed by Ralph, will head to Chantilly to attend the St. Stephen's Anglican Church with women of the Jamaican chapter of the foundation and the parents and children from the district. The parents and children who attend the church service will have access to backpacks filled with school supplies. Ralph explained that while the initiative focuses mainly on providing backpacks, some children will receive lunch bags, uniforms, and assistance with school fees. Williams raised to overcome. It has been a difficult month for Sharon Simpson, mother of Brenna Williams, who now lives with the fact that her daughter had an adverse analytical finding based on medication she had given to her on the day of the Jamaican National Senior Trials, when Williams woke up experiencing flu-like symptoms she got from her mother, who was sick that week. I sat with Simpson to talk that day. In her own words, Simpson said, "As a mother, my first instinct is always to protect my child. This was the most important day for her track career so far, and I just wanted her to feel better, so she could do well for her race later that day. I just hope I haven't jeopardized her years of hard work." Those years of hard work have seen Brenna's rise to stardom across the track and field landscape from as early as 10 years old, where she was number one in her age group in the USA. As Simpson recalls, it was Williams herself who chose track and field. Brenna was always hyperactive even from birth, Simpson shared. As a dental hygienist, she used to kick my patients as I conducted my procedures while pregnant. Because of this, as early as 3 years old, I enrolled her in ballet, tap dancing, and then gymnastics. She even played tennis at age 6. When she was 8, Brenna and her cousin came to me while I was watching a track and field meet, and they said that they wanted to run track. I really never thought about it until she expressed that interest. That interest was always in Simpson's blood. Running was something she did while living in Jamaica before migrating to Florida. I did track, hockey, and netball at Wolmer's, Simpson said. My cousin, Dr. Dean Weatherly, coaches Cornwall College, and my aunt, Gloria Simpson, played netball for Jamaica, so sports has always been a major part of the Simpson family. Simpson remembers taking her 9-year-old to Miramar Optimist to start track training. When Williams lined up for her first competitive race, she won easily. She's pretty much been winning ever since, Simpson said, beaming. And the decision to run for Jamaica, that was Williams as well. We lived in the U.S. Her father was Philadelphia born and raised. She trained in the U.S. And so my thought was always she would compete for the USA. But we came to Jamaica to watch Champs in 2012, and Brenna fell in love instantly and wanted to run for Jamaica. At the 2019 Carifta Games, Williams became the first Jamaican since Usain Bolt in 2004 to earn the Austin Seeley Award 2 years in a row. Now she faces the biggest obstacle for a young track and field career. This has taught me a lot, Simpson said, of how she's handling it. I was always very vigilant and have taught her to do the same. My remaining hope is that my actions as a mother aren't held against her, or Otto Bolden, her coach, who has been like a father to her since she was 10 years old. It would not be fair to them. As for Williams, Simpson believes she has shown incredible strength. Her name is Brenna, which means strong and honorable, and she has lived up to that. Her father, who died of kidney cancer when Brenna was just 6, named her that. They were inseparable before he passed. After running a national junior 100-meter record of 10.94 seconds at the National Senior Trials in July, Williams now awaits the result of her pending anti-doping hearing to know whether she will compete in her first major senior international event at the IAAF World Championships in Doha next month. Thieves use flat tire trick to rob motorists. Investigators attached to the Freeport Police Station in Montego Bay are advising the public, especially motorists, to be on the lookout for a brazen robber who prowls the Fairview shopping complex in the city. The robber reportedly acts like a good Samaritan and with the aid of an accomplice robs persons of cash. This man will use a sharp object to puncture or release the hair from the victim's motor vehicle tire. On returning from the bank, the victim discovers that his or her tire is flat, and that is when the so-called Good Samaritan steps in and offers his service in changing your tire, a source explained. The source further said that the Samaritan distracts the motorist, which allows the accomplice time to quietly enter the vehicle and make off with valuables. Detective Woman Sergeant Hewlett Lewis Green, liaison officer for St. James, said that over a period of time there have been several reported cases of robbers targeting motorists in that area. These robbers have been targeting persons who are conducting business with various banking establishments and robbing them of large sums of cash, he said. The case of the robber who is playing the Good Samaritan and robbing victims is a relatively new approach being taken by these robbers. The source said that one individual reported that he was robbed of more than $250,000. The police want to discourage persons to stop leaving bags and other valuables inside their vehicles because this attracts robbers even when these bags are hidden under the seats of your car, said Lewis Green. Investigators say they have placed additional police personnel in the business community at Fairview, but they are asking motorists not to accept assistance from any stranger at that location. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.